Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unrestricted Flavor. I'm your host, Mark Dirksing. Today we're going to go on a little adventure. Follow me. Back in the 80s, I tasted my first Zantigo Chilito with sour cream. It later became the Taco Bell chili cheese burrito with sour cream. It quickly became my favorite fast food item. Unfortunately, when I got sick, I wasn't able to eat it until now. But first, I have to get the ingredients. I'm here at Jungle Jim's, ready to go shopping. From our little adventure to Jungle Jim's and Taco Bell. We're going to go ahead and get started making my version of the Taco Bell chili cheese burrito with sour cream. But before we do, I just wanted to say a couple things. One of the reasons why I created the show was obviously to pass on recipes, but another reason is to just inspire creativity. Don't be afraid to play with your food, play around with the ingredients that you can use, and don't give up your hope. Years ago, when I gave up all fast food and all restaurants, actually, I was crushed that I would never be able to eat a Taco Bell chili cheese burrito with sour cream ever again. I know that's sad, but that was one of the things that crushed me more than anything. And so for a year or two, I struggled with not being able to eat that. But through my creativity and just trial and error, I have figured out this recipe. So don't be afraid to play with your food, enjoy yourself, and have fun. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna reposition the camera over the crock pot and start putting together our... So like I said, this is a very simple recipe. We're gonna start with about 2 pounds of chicken in our crock pot. Then we're going to add a cup of my enchilada sauce, the tomato-less enchilada sauce. You can find that recipe on the Unrestricted Flavor YouTube page. But we're going to go ahead and add a cup of the enchilada sauce. Then we are going to add 3 cups of peppers, diced peppers. I use 1 red, 1 orange, and 1 yellow pepper. We're going to add half a cup of chives. And these are fresh chives. I got these from my planter outside. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of cumin. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then half a cup of roasted red peppers. And there you have it. We're going to go ahead and get a spoon. Stir this around a little bit. And we are just going to let this chicken cook. And once we cook it and shred it, we are going to add a few more ingredients. And I will be back at that point. This should take between 4 and 6 hours, depending on your setting. I would recommend high at about 4 hours should do it. And then you'll start shredding your chicken once the chicken is done. Okay, while we're waiting for the chicken in the crock pot, I just wanted to give some advice to some of you. If you're a person out there that's still trying to figure out what exactly is wrong with you, and you're still fighting a gastrointestinal disease, my only recommendation is don't give up and be your own advocate. I spent 3 years trying to figure out with doctors what was wrong with me. And many times I would get to a doctor, I would use that doctor until that doctor couldn't get me any further in my progress, and I would switch to a new doctor. Do not think that you have to be loyal to a doctor. Take care of yourself. What I have found is that ultimately nobody is going to care about your health or care about figuring out what's wrong with you except for you. And so being your own advocate, working to find that right doctor. It took me years, but I finally was connected with 2 of the best doctors in the area, and they have changed my life. So all I have to say is please don't give up. Feel free to reach out to me. Again, I have my Facebook group called Unrestricted Flavor. You can reach out and I can get you in contact with my doctors or give you some advice. But don't give up. 3 years ago, actually 5 years ago when this started, I had nowhere to turn. It was difficult to say the least. I spent every morning vomiting. It was a horrible experience, but I'm here to tell you that things can get better. Don't give up. All right, we are back and the chicken is shredded. So we are going to add 2 simple ingredients. We are first going to add a package of Uncle Ben's Original Ready Rice Whole Grain Brown. We'll add that in there. And then we're going to add 2 packages of Verilife veggie cream cheese. And I recommend dividing them a little bit as you stir. So I do 1 brick at a time. And we're just going to stir this in and get the cream cheese melted. All right, now the cheese is blended well, and so is the rice. The chicken sauce is a little runny for my liking, so That is not a problem. All I do is add a little gluten-free flour to thicken it up, or you can add a little cornstarch if you'd like as well. But when you do that, it will thicken things up, and that is our chicken base for our chili cheese burrito with sour cream. Now there are many different ways that you can make this. You can wrap it in a gluten-free flour tortilla, or what I like to do is mash a bunch of chips, gluten-free tortilla chips, in a bowl and just pour this sauce over it, and it tastes exactly like the chili cheese burrito with sour cream. So there you have it. I am going to let this sit for a little bit longer and thicken up, and then we will put together our meal.